Here we are at Bishop Woods Architecture and Design Magnet School. Please introduce yourself and talk about the project that we worked on together.
My name is Caitlin Garceau, and I'm a second grade classroom teacher.
Leah Lynch. I'm also a second grade classroom teacher.
We worked on designing a playhouse challenge for our second graders. We followed a process for the students, and with that process, we looked at different components of the houses. We did lots of research that was relevant to the students so that they could relate to it. We did lots of drawings and measurements, and we made models for the students to be able to relate to.
So one of the very first steps that the students had to do was they had to review a site plan, and some of the elements that were important to consider here were the symbols. So students had to understand, first of all, what a symbol is and how to read it, how to read the site plan, and the important components involved here. And then they had to decide where they would build their playhouse, and then they had to give reasons why they would build it there. We also did a lot of research on the playhouse and is that your part? Oh, sorry.
Nope. So with the research, we were able to look for and have a lot of discussions come out about why they want their playhouse in a certain spot on this elevated site plan. So through the conversations, kids were able to find, well, why would you want to live near water? Or why would you want to be up high away from everyone? So through the research, we were able to come up with lots of reasons, and kids were able to be exposed to some of the materials that they could use in building this playhouse. So through those discussions, they were able to come up with even more and relate it to the building itself that we're in.
And then came the actual building part, where students had to use real tools like
The
rulers,
rulers.
rulers, and there were certain criteria that needed to be followed. So there were the steps in the process.
I see three-dimensional furniture in there.
Yes. So there was the actual playhouse model, and then there was the furniture that was also created as well.
And the students learned about scale.
Yes.
Some, concept of this is small, but it's actually it's a smaller size than the real playhouse, and we actually taped the real size on the floor.
Correct. Yes. So the students were able to see, even though we looked at this scale, but what would it look like if it was truly outside? So taping everything to the floor and having the students actually stand inside, they were able to see that it's not quite as big as they anticipated. So they were able to correlate, the size to the model.
And they did a drawing also, didn't they?
Yes. So this was their elevation drawing.